The film begins in the middle of the action, with emergency services responding to a call from a panicked young girl on June 15, 1991. She screams that something is coming for her brother before the call cuts off. Detective Jose Ramon and other officers arrive at an apartment building in Madrid. Inside, they find the place in ruins and follow a trail of blood to a room. When they open the door, they are shocked by what they see. The story then goes back 3 days earlier. Veronica, a 15-year-old girl, lives with her mother Ana and 3 younger siblings, twins Lucia and Irene, and little Antonito, in a working-class district of Madrid. Their father has recently died, and Ana works long hours at a bar, leaving Veronica to care for her siblings. One morning, while Ana is still asleep, Veronica retrieves a photo of her father from her closet, gets her siblings ready, and takes them to school. In class, her friend Rosa passes her a note asking if she brought it, and Veronica points to her bag. That day is the solar eclipse of 1991, and their teacher explains how some ancient cultures used eclipses for sacrifices and summoning dark spirits. While the other students go to the rooftop to watch the solar eclipse, Veronica, Rosa, and their friend Diana sneak into the school basement to perform a seance using a Ouija board. Veronica wants to contact her late father, and Diana hopes to reach her boyfriend, who died in a motorcycle accident. During the seance, the glass they use as a planchette starts moving on its own, surprising the girls. As they laugh, thinking someone is playing a trick, the glass begins moving rapidly. Rosa and Diana pull their hands away when the glass becomes too hot, but Veronica's hand stays on it. At the moment of the eclipse, the glass shatters, cutting Veronica's finger and spilling blood on the board. The board bursts into flames and breaks in half, and Veronica falls into a trance. Diana runs to get help, while Rosa sees Veronica whispering something repeatedly before suddenly letting out a demonic scream. Veronica later wakes up in the school nurse's office, who finds nothing physically wrong with her and suggests she fainted due to iron deficiency. On their way home, Lucia notices a blind nun, known as Sister Death, staring at Veronica. Veronica and her siblings visit their mother at work, but when Veronica tries to talk to her, Ana is too busy to listen. At home, Veronica places her backpack, containing the broken Ouija board, on top of her closet, but it falls off on its own. She puts it back, but it keeps falling, so she hides it under her bed instead. During dinner, Irene goes to get some milk. Suddenly, Veronica starts shaking uncontrollably but stops when the spilled milk touches her shoe. She seems confused and unaware of what just happened, and while cleaning up in the bathroom, she notices strange marks on her body. Later, she calls Rosa but learns from Rosa's mother that Rosa went out with Diana without telling her. That night, while bathing Antonito, Veronica hears a loud noise from her room and goes to check. The bedroom door locks by itself, separating her from her brother. When she finally gets back into the bathroom, she finds Antonito's body scalded by hot water. She applies ointment to the burns and apologizes, but Antonito says it's not her fault. Later, while washing dishes, the TV suddenly turns on by itself, startling her. When Veronica turns off the TV, she fails to notice a dark figure standing behind her. In her room, she places her backpack with the Ouija board in the closet and goes to bed. Later that night, she is awakened by the closet door opening on its own and finds the twins hiding inside, looking terrified. Suddenly, she sees a vision of her possessed father, and black hands grab and restrain her on the bed, but it turns out to be a nightmare. As the paranormal events continue, Veronica starts waking up late and getting her siblings to school late. At school, she notices that Rosa and Diana are now avoiding her. She asks to use the bathroom but instead returns to the basement to recover her father's photo. There, Sister Death confronts her about using the Ouija board. Veronica explains she only wanted to contact her dad, but Sister Death warns that she doesn't know who she actually reached, and tells her to protect her siblings from the shadow now following her. After school, Veronica asks Rosa why she's being distant, but Rosa denies seeing anything unusual during the seance. Diana then reveals Rosa is throwing a party while her parents are away, and both girls walk off. At home, Veronica uses an occult encyclopedia to draw protective Viking symbols and hangs them in her siblings' room. She hears a knock at the door, which is their neighbor, Josefa, who complains about shaking lamps and black stains on her walls, which she believes are coming from Veronica's apartment. That night, Veronica hears Lucia calling her through a walkie-talkie, even though she's asleep. After seeing a dark figure, she rushes to the kids' room but finds nothing, and suddenly, the Simon game turns on by itself. Veronica sees the demon destroying the Viking symbols, and an invisible force holds her in place. She breaks free and goes to help Lucia, who is being choked by the demon, but Lucia thinks it was Veronica choking her. Afterward, Veronica moves the kids to sleep in the living room. Lucia asks why she tried to choke her, but Veronica says she didn't, she was trying to protect her from the demon. Veronica is woken by someone calling her name and follows the voice. She sees the demon slowly approaching the front door. She picks up an object with a cross to confront it, while Lucia and Irene hide behind her. But the figure turns out to be their mother, Anna, who has just come home and finds the children terrified. Veronica tells Anna about the Ouija board and the demon, but Anna doesn't believe her, leading to an argument. The next morning, Veronica is woken by Lucia and Irene saying they're hungry. Suddenly, they begin eating her flesh, and Antonito joins in, choking her. Anna also appears, but it turns out to be a nightmare. Veronica wakes up to find she started her period. While scrubbing her mattress, she notices burn marks on the underside. Antonito then tells her that their dead father visited him and said he would come back to take him. Veronica warns her brother not to listen if their father returns. She later discovers that all her siblings have black marks in the shape of human bodies on the underside of their mattresses. After getting her siblings dressed, Veronica takes Lucia, Irene, and Antonito to the bar where their mother works so she can go to the school and speak with Sister Death. Sister Death explains that she used to see dark spirits when she was young and blinded herself in a failed attempt to stop the visions Veronica is now experiencing. She tells Veronica that the seance was left unfinished, and to send the spirits back, she must correct that mistake. By doing what she failed to do the first time, she may be able to force the spirits to leave, and before Sister Death can say more, another nun comes to take her away. Veronica buys a new occult encyclopedia and learns that a Ouija seance must be properly closed by saying goodbye, otherwise, the summoned spirit stays with the summoner. She goes to Rosa's house and begs Rosa and Diana to help her perform a corrective seance, but they refuse. Veronica is thrown out of the party, and Rosa reveals that during the original seance, Veronica whispered that she would die in 3 days, before Rosa returns to the party. Now fearing for her life, Veronica begs her mother to close the bar and come home, explaining that the presence doesn't appear when Anna is around, but Anna says she can't leave work. Desperate, Veronica decides to perform the seance herself with her siblings. She explains what they need to do and asks Antonito to draw protective symbols on the walls. However, he accidentally flips to the wrong page and draws symbols of invocation instead. Veronica repairs the broken Ouija board and begins the seance with her 2 sisters, intending to say goodbye to the spirit, and when she tells it to leave, the spirit refuses. To properly close the seance, the children must sing a song together, and they choose the jingle from a brand called Santella, the only melody they all know. At first, it seems to work, but as soon as they stop singing, paranormal activity begins again, and the Ouija board then splits apart. A rolling glass cup leads Veronica into a bedroom, where the demon grabs her from inside a mattress. She manages to escape its grip and sees the lights exploding around her as the demon begins to fully emerge from the mattress. Terrified, Veronica calls the police as the violent paranormal activity intensifies, and suddenly, the demon grabs Antonito and locks him in the bathroom. While trying to break down the door, Veronica hits her head but manages to get the door open and rescued Antonito. She rushes all the children out of the building, and just then, Veronica realizes she's not actually holding Antonito, it was only in her mind. With Lucia and Irene locked outside, she runs back into the apartment to save him. Meanwhile, Anna becomes worried when sees police cars pass by her bar, and she rushes home, where she finds Lucia and Irene waiting outside. Inside, Veronica finds Antonito hiding in a closet, but he refuses to leave with her. Veronica looks into a mirror and sees the demon, realizing she has been possessed the entire time and was the one harming her siblings while under its control. Believing the only way to protect them is to end her own life, she tries to slit her throat with a shard of broken mirror glass. However, the demon stops her and begins to possess her. Detective Romero and other officers arrive and witness Veronica being lifted into the air by an unseen force, tormented by supernatural power, before she passes out. Medics carry her and Antonito out of the apartment as Romero, visibly shaken, surveys the scene. While inspecting the apartment alone, Romero watches as a photo of Veronica burns on its own. Moments later, he receives a radio message confirming that Veronica has died. In his official report, Romero documents witnessing unexplained paranormal activity. The film ends by revealing that it is based on a true story, the first time in Spain that a police officer officially reported experiencing paranormal events. Okay guys, that's all the recap about Veronica from 2017. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.